So if you've got them, make sure you've got your spiky balls for a couple of releases today, or a tennis ball or any kind of ball. And then also if you have a peanut ball handy, which I'll show you what it looks like, which is like this, like two balls joined together, then grab that. And if you don't have one, then don't stress about it. We can make adjustments. We can use two balls, or I can just try and find a different exercise for you. If you have a foam roller, I just have like one or two exercises which would be good if you had a foam roller, but if you don't have one, it's completely fine, so don't stress it. Anyone got any questions about tonight, or any concerns, or has anyone got any sort of shoulder or upper back issues that I need to know about? No, excellent. Alrighty, so yeah, today's class, last week at the end of class, I said that today was bridges, and I got that wrong. Today is actually shoulders and thoracic, so that next week we've already done those exercises for, we've already done those exercises as a precursor to bridges, so that makes more sense anyway. Alrighty, so we're gonna do a quick cardio slash movement warm up, and then we'll get stuck into it. So hoppity hop up, I'm going to put some music on, get moving. Alrighty, go for a jog. Oh, it's not big today. And high knees. And keep it up. And back to normal jogging. And feet together, just 3 minutes. And keep going. Lovely, feet apart, and reach across. Keep getting some knees going. And nice and high. Back to straight across. And reaching low. Try and get a nice twist to your spine. 3 jumping jacks. Keep the feet, change the arms. Got it wrong. There we go. Back to normal. Legs stay the same, arms go half time. Lovely, feet apart. Roll your shoulders down, keep those knees going, get the blood flowing. And roll the shoulders forward. And up. Forward. Lovely, from your elbows. And the other way. Three hands together at the front. Going to twist through your hips. Open up through the shoulder. Lovely, roll your shoulders. Lovely, one arm high, one arm low. Going to do little pulses going back. Make sure the core's locked off, so don't arch your back. Just keep switching between those little pulses. Lovely. Alrighty, I'm just going to take you through a really, really short little sequence. But I'm going to show you first because it's got a few things that are difficult to watch if you're doing it at the same time. So I'm going to take a nice wide second. We're going to lunge from side to side, but at the same time we're going to take a big arm circle. So we're going to draw a circle backwards here to get a nice twist through the thoracic, but also warm those shoulders up. So we're going to switch from side to side. Going to do that 8 times. So we're going to look up to the ceiling, lock off your core again, just opening up through your upper back, through your thoracic to here, and then we're going to stick your butt out and fold over, rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Okay, so it's 8 of the lunges, open up, fold over, roll up, and we'll do that 4 times. Alrighty? Ready? Off we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and open, chest up to the ceiling, stick your butt out, fall down to the floor, and rolling up your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Lovely, and again. Again, up to the ceiling, fold over, rolling up. 2 more times. 7, 8, open up, fold over, and roll through your spine. Last one. Really nice and slowly this time, open it to the ceiling, stick your butt out, fold over, and slowly rolling up through your spine. Lovely. Alrighty. Feeling a little bit warm? Excellent. Grab a drink if you need it. Tend to keep my warm-up fairly short when we're doing flexibility, because the way I structure my class is to keep warming up the muscles as we go. So all we're trying to do is just get some heat into your muscles and into your joints. So hopefully that got you moving. Okay. So just going to start off with a little bit of light mobilization today. So these are just fairly light exercises that are just trying to get your joints moving, especially if you've been sort of fairly static during the day, or if you are really tight through your shoulders and thoracic. Okay, so I was like, yes, I've been very static. I'm actually lucky. I got to climb yesterday. Ooh, I know, I got to climb a thing, right? So exciting. Alrighty, so we don't need anything for the first section. How exciting. Just for those, I think Kate and I think everyone else has done my class before, but just if you've not done my class before, anything that requires looking away from the camera while you're executing it, I'll demonstrate and explain it first, and then we'll do it all together. But if it's something that you can kind of watch the screen while you do it, then we'll do it all together. Okay, so these ones should be pretty easy for everyone to follow along as we go. Alrighty, so we're going to start off in a cat position. Just some really, really light mobilization through your thoracic. So we're going to arch you back into a happy cat. I'm going to stay here for a tick while everyone gets into position. And when you're in this position, to get to your thoracic, really think about squeezing your shoulder blades together and pull your sternum forwards. Lovely. Then going into an angry cat, so you suck the tummy button up towards the ceiling and really, really broaden across your shoulder blades to push your back up to the ceiling. And just switch between those two shapes slowly a few times. Make sure you're really, really extending into the shape. Push it as far as it will go. Lovely, and just go for a disco cat. So I'm sure most of you have done disco cat before, but if you haven't, we're going up to the angry cat. You're going to draw a circle, so your ribs go over to the side, down to the floor, round to the other side, and up towards the ceiling again. And make this really strong, really try and get into the furthest you can in that circle, make it as big as possible. And change direction. Lovely, and back to the center. I'm going to go for an itchy cat just to warm up the little spiral. So for an itchy cat, we're going to pass one arm through to touch your shoulder, and then you're going to open up your chest to the ceiling. Try not to twist through your hips. Keep really centered here. We're going to do 5 with a straight arm here, and then 5 bending through the arm to increase the rotation. Alrighty, and I'll count it out and get my count on today. Alrighty, off we go. So you're going to touch the shoulder and open up. That's 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And now bending through the supporting arm, increasing that spiral. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. Last one on this side. 5. Lovely, and switch arms. So when you do this, try and really extend and think about going a little bit further each time. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. And then bending through the supporting arm. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. 1. Lovely. Sit back on your heels, shrug your shoulders, give it a bit of a spiral if you need it. Next one is going to be another spiraling exercise. So we're going to, you can do this by the wall if you want to, for reference, but you don't have to. I'm going to squish myself up against the wall. And I'm going to take a kneel with the leg that's furthest away from the wall, up. Okay, I'm going to come to this position so that both hands are out in front of you. And then we're going to keep this shoulder blade attached to the wall, but open up through the spine. And all we're doing here is using the wall for reference. Another thing that it does is it keeps your hips really square, so it just doesn't allow you to cheat in any way. Okay, we're going to do 10. I think I can just see everyone. All right, ready? And off we go. That's 2. I'm going to keep counting until the knees drop. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one on this side. And 10. Great, and then I'll give you a few seconds to change sides. Lovely. Ready to go? Off we go. So it's 10. 9. 8. 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Excellent, lovely. Roll the shoulders there. I'm just going to bring my mat back. So the next one, just take a look out first, and then we'll do them all together. So we're going to lie on your back with your knees bent up. We're just going to do some contemporary leg swings. So contemporary dance technique, but it's really, really nice for your spine. So we're going to have your arms out to the side. A little bit loud. All right, so the action starts with your hips. So don't think about leading with your knees. You're going to let your hips and your core fall to the side, and that is what makes the leg swing. And then we bring it back to center. And then we go the other way. Okay? If you're a little bit squished, you can do this with a bent leg. Okay? So you're going to do 20 of these in total, kind of in your own time, so you can feel the action. Ready? Off we go. So really try and make this as relaxed as possible, so you get a nice relaxed spiral through your spine. About 4 more. Lovely. And coming up to sit. Excellent. Alrighty, we're going to stay in this position. So more of a sort of shoulder extension warm-up. You're going to put your hands behind you with your fingers facing back. I think some of you will have done this before, so I did it in my bridge class as well. So from here, we're going to think about pushing your knees down towards the ground. So opening it through your hip flexors and opening it through your shoulders. So because we're focusing on shoulders today and not bridges, it's more about your shoulders. So it doesn't matter as much about pushing your hips forward, as long as you can feel the stretch in the shoulders. If you feel like you need more of a stretch, you can move your hands further back. And 4 more. Lovely. And then 1 more shoulder mobilization exercise, a little light one. Scat cats, or thoracic push-ups, or scapular push-ups. Got lots of different names. Definitely worth watching this one first, and then we'll do them all together. So you're going to come to a cat shape. Really, really lock off your core. And then it's just movement through the shoulder blades. So the first shape is here, where you're really, really pushing up through the upper back and spreading your shoulder blades apart. And then you drop down into the shoulder blades. So think about squeezing them together. But what you don't want here is to start going into an angry cat. So really, really just trying to get into that thoracic action here. Okay, so you're going to do 10 of those. If you do want an extra challenge and want a little bit of a core workout, you can do these in a front support position, as long as you're not straining through your neck. Okay, so nice long necks, and I'm going to watch out. Good. Make sure your core is locked off, so don't let your back go. Yeah, don't let your back arch. Yeah, keep that really, really nice and straight. It's just the shoulder blades. When you've done about sort of 10 to 15, you can relax and grab a drink if you need it. So the next section is going to be a little bit of active flex and a little bit of like, there's a little bit of spiky ball, bit of everything. So we're going to start off with there's quite a few things here which need a bit more explaining and which you have to sort of face down for. So I'll be explaining them as we go. First one is a 3-stage shoulder stretch, which again, you may have done before if you did this class in the last time we did it. So there's 3 different shapes. And what this one is doing is making your shoulders really strong at the same time as trying to extend them, which is really important when you're increasing your flexibility, is that you're also making sure that your joints are strong enough to support that. So we're going to come into an extended sort of stretchy cat position. In the first shape, you're going to think about squeezing your tummy button up towards the ceiling and blocking with your shoulders. So it's almost like a handstand here, where you're really, really squeezing your shoulders up to your ears. Then we're going to lay your back and tummy and shoulders come down towards the floor. And I'm going to go with my fingers up on a spiky sort of spider hand here to get an extra bit of armpit shoulder stretch. Okay, so this is the second shape. And then from here, we're going to keep the shoulders really open, but think about squeezing the tummy button up. Okay, so this is the one that really strengthens your shoulders. Alrighty, we're going to go for a 20-second hold in each of those shapes. Okay, and I'll count it in my head. It's going to be great. Alrighty, everyone ready? Beautiful. Alrighty, walking your hands out to that stretchy cat position. Things up on the spider hands if you like. Ready? Tummy buttons up, shoulders blocked. Off we go. And sinking your tummy button and armpits down towards the floor, really arching through your back as much as you can. Lovely, and then keep your shoulders open, suck that tummy button up towards the ceiling. And relax, sit back on your heels, give your shoulders a little roll out your hands or your wrists if you need to. Lovely, next one is facing face down. So this is definitely one to watch before we do. And this is another sort of active flexibility one for your shoulders. So we're going to be lying with your face on the floor, arms out in front, and you want to keep your hands shoulder width apart, so don't let them come really far out, really, really parallel. If you do, this is one where if you have a foam roller, they're usually about, or unless you've got a long one, but if you've got a short one, are really good to have as a shoulder width measure. So we're going to lift up to where you think your maximum is, and that'll be different for everyone. And when you're in this position, make sure you don't relax and arch your back. So keep your glutes squeezed and tummy button lifted. So we're going to be here, and then we're going to pulse up from that position. Really, really tiny squeezes up for 20. Okay? I'm just going to repeat all of that sitting up so you can understand me. So where you're lifting to is ideally the lowest you get to, and we're really just trying to extend and squeeze up above that. Okay? So we're going to do 20 squeezes and then roll out. I'm going to take a look over and make sure you're all good. Let's see it. Tiny squeezes. It's looking really good. Nice little squeezes. It's great. Yeah, keep your forehead on the floor. Try and squeeze those heels down. Lovely. Lovely. When you've done 20, relax, and we're going to do another set today. And you can stay on your fronts as long as you can see your screens, because we're going to be staying on our front. And for this one, we're going to put our hands in our cactus shape. Oh, she's show you like this first. So we're going to go to a cactus shape, and we're going to be lifting our arms off the floor, extending to that sort of Superman shape with your forehead down, and then we're going to come back to the cactus and then lay your arms down. I'll show you what it looks like on the floor. So we're going to be here with your shoulders completely relaxed. And we're going to engage in your shoulder blades to lift your arms up to this cactus shape. We're going to extend, and then come back to the cactus and lower. And we're going to do 10 of those. Okay? And I think we can do that in our own time as well. Off you go. So make sure you keep your foreheads on the floor, really squeeze those shoulder blades together. And when you go to the extended position, try and keep your hands just as raised as they were in the cactus. Really try and squeeze it up as high as you can. Yours go really, really high, but make sure on that transition between the cactus and the straight shape that you keep it really, really lifted, because it's dropping just in between the shapes a little bit. So much shoulder rolling today. I love it. I'm a big shoulder roller. Alrighty, next couple of exercises are your peanut ball or spiky ball exercises. So can you just give me a desperate wave if you don't have a peanut ball or 2 spiky balls? Do you have a foam? Yeah, so you can either use 2 spiky balls if you have that, or if you have a foam roller, you can use that as well. It just won't be as intense. So if you don't have either a spiky ball, 2 spiky balls, a peanut ball or a foam roller, desperately wave at me. Oh no. Alrighty. Do you have, what can we use? Like, I don't know, like maybe a couple of cushions or something to raise your back on. I mean, water bottles are okay, but they're a little bit intense on your spine. It's not the worst thing. Oh, I just remembered what we did. So if you have a water bottle and wrap it in either a jumper or put a cushion over it, and we've done that before and that kind of works. So when we do these releases, what we're trying to do is just make the muscles relax. A lot of the time, it's not necessarily some muscle tightness that is restricting your flexibility, but it's just that your muscles are too tense. Okay, so it's not all about stretching. Often it's about just making your muscles in the best quality that they can be. So that's what we're doing here. Can you tell that I'm stalling? Alrighty, so I'm going to get my spiky ball or my peanut ball. So we're going to do sit-ups on whatever we have. So if you have spiky balls, this is a little bit more challenging because you don't want them to roll away, but we can make it work. So we're going to place the peanut ball around about here. Okay, so it's just below where your traps are. Okay, we're going to do 10 little sit-ups in this position. Then we're going to bring it down to here, right between your shoulder blades, which is going to be 10 here. Then we're going to bring it down to our lower thoracic. So this is kind of where your crop top might end if you have a crop top on, or you can imagine you have a crop top on. Okay, so it's those 3 positions. We're going to do 10 sit-ups in each of those. Okay? I'll just show you first. So we're going to be here. Make sure they're nice and even. We're going to have your hands obviously clasped behind your head. We're going to open up your chest to the ceiling and then looking at your tummy button. Okay? So nice and slowly here. When you do the ones with it between your shoulder blades, you might want to hug your shoulders to open up your shoulder blades, which feels pretty good. If you want this to be more intense, then you can lift your hips up, which puts more weight into the ball or the foam roller. Okay? I'm just going to come back. You can get started. So 10 in the top position, 10 mid and 10 lower. But if you haven't, yeah, so really, really think about rounding your back into the ball or foam roller or whatever you have and just letting that pressure drop into the ball.
Hannah, since mine are like spiky, they really hurt my neck.
Where can you show me where you're putting them? Turn around and show them. So
putting it there.
Yeah, a little bit high. So you want to actually go down more like here. by way inside of like, so not where your spine is and not where your shoulder blade is, but in that little muscly bit in between. So you're just going a little bit high. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then the next one even lower than that. All right, next one is going to be a pec minor release. So this one really is just to help with that opening of the shoulder in this kind of range, which I mean, it's kind of good for a lot of things, but particularly in areas like when you need these kind of open positions, it's like we're just trying to release off your pec minor, which can get quite tight. So with the spiky ball, we're going to be placing the ball back here. Okay, so that muscle just below where the collarbone is. Okay, we're going to be putting him into here. Okay, and we're going to be going back to our cactus shape, and we're going to be lying on the floor. Okay, now you can play with this a little bit because your pec minor kind of runs along here. So you can actually go a little bit more towards the armpit or bring it more central. It's kind of depends on where you're feeling tight, if anywhere. And I'm just going to show you the position before we do it. So we're going to, yeah, I think so. So we're going to put it into position, cactus with that arm that the ball is in. And then from here, I'm going to take the other hand to a spider and open up through the chest, okay? Now, if you need more intensity, you can either open up through the knee here, which kind of directs the weight into the ball, or if you like, you can also lift your hips off the floor, which is even more intense. Okay, so have a little go. I'm again going to come back and just check and see if anyone needs any help with that positioning. We want to stay in each release for about 30 seconds, so don't overdo it. Don't forget to switch sides. Lovely. If you're waiting for other people to finish, you can give your sort of the front of your oops, drop my ball. The front of your deltoids here that come in and join into your shoulder. It's really nice just to get in there with the ball and give those a little bit of a massage out. It's just a bonus. Now we're all ready, but it's just a nice thing to do, isn't it? Make sure you do both shoulders. Excellent. Alrighty. So now we're going to do a few more slight stretchy things. So the first one is actually a stretch version of the release that we just did. So we're going to do exactly the same shape. Come into the cactus or slightly higher than cactus. Okay, so just lift the elbow a little bit below, above 90 degrees. And then we're going to come to that open hip position and direct it into more of a stretch than a release. Okay, so we're going to do that on each side, about 30 seconds. And then I'll talk through the next one separately because it's a little bit trickier to find the stretch. Okay, I'm going to do it with you. So face down, arm just above 90 degrees in the cactus, looking away from the arm that's in the cactus, spider hand, and then opening up through the hips. So if you feel like you need more stretch in this position, then you can think about pushing the spider hand shoulder back towards the towards your butt. Hold here for a few more seconds. And switch sides. Find your shape first, just above 90 degrees. Look away from that hand. Spider with the other hand, and take that for a while. Relaxing out of that shape. Lovely. All right, so the next one is a variation on that. It targets more the bicep along here, and also running along the front of your shoulder through the deltoid there, more than being a pec stretch. So for this one, we're going to take the arm up to about 45 degrees to here. We're going to internally rotate it here. So we're like letting the shoulder roll forwards. Okay, so that your palm comes to face the ceiling. Okay, so this will be the floor. So this part of your hand is going to be on the floor. This one's a bit more tricky to find. Watch for 2 minutes more, because I'm going to show you a variation to make it more difficult, but you need to see it. So here, 45 degrees, internally rotated, and then it's the same stretch here, but you need to make sure that your legs don't swing back, because it just makes the stretch in the wrong place. So make sure you stay really straight here, and that the stretch comes from the shoulder. If you need to make it more intense, we can open up this arm to the ceiling, which gives me quite an intense stretch. Okay, so I'll let you all get into position and we'll do it all together. In fact, I'm going to watch. Check if everyone's good. Yeah, if you're doing the open version, make sure you're looking up at the top hand. That's it, really, really open up through the shoulder. Just before we do the other side, is anyone not feeling a stretch for that one? Yeah, your angles are pretty good. I reckon here, just think about looking up at your top hand and opening up through the chest more. Alrighty, let's go for the other side. Next one's more of a slight thoracic-y thing. So I'm going to come to a straddle. Is there anyone here who doesn't have a really comfortable sort of straddle shape? Nope, I think everyone here is pretty good. Listen, if you're still there, then give you a version which will give you a really good sitting up straddle position. So, optional foam roller moment. You don't need to have it, I just, I like it. So we're going to come to either a straddle, or recently for this one, I've been preferring to take one leg bent and bring it to more of a sort of diagonal position. And what this does is it just allows me to keep that hip really planted to the floor. It's not supposed to be a straddle stretch, we're not working on splits today, so it's just easing off that straddle stretch and focusing on the thoracic. So, we're going to bring our foam roller if you have it. We're just going to angle it, so bring it so that the inside of it is opposite your crotch, and then just tilt it slightly away from you, okay? The action is going to be a twisting and opening up your chest to the ceiling, okay? So if this is comfortable for you to reach and grab the foot, you can do this. Otherwise, you can just reach out towards the wall. The other arm is going to go onto the foam roller, okay? So your hand is facing in. So we're going to be in this position, okay? From here, we're going to twist through your thoracic and try to push your arm through the gap, okay? So it's like you're looking underneath that top arm up to the ceiling. It's a really, really nice like thoracic twist open. Okay, I'm just going to do 5 on one side, you're going to do more, and I'm going to watch. Lovely. Keep going. I'm just going to check it's all in good shape. That's it. So really, really slight. Trying to open up that shoulder to the ceiling, so don't get stuck in this closed shape. Yeah, if you're finding it hard to rotate whilst holding your foot, just do it with the reach here. Just getting this going on here, and that's better than doing it holding your foot but not getting the rotation. So if you wanted to actually put the cushion underneath your butt instead of in front of you, then what this does is it'll just allow you to sit up more upright, which will allow you to access the thoracic better.
Hannah, is the
Yes.
point to not let your ischios lift?
It doesn't matter too much with this because really it's about the thoracic rotation for this exercise. I just like it
lifts up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much for this one, to be honest. It's mostly about the twist and the thoracic. Lovely, and switch sides whenever you're ready. Alrighty. Yeah, give yourself a little twist out. What's that? Lovely. Alrighty, we're gonna do, what time are we at? 7:21. I'm over time, I'm always over time. I'm like, oh, this week I'm gonna be perfect. I'm gonna have the exact amount for 45 minutes. Never do, always an hour, every time. Just a couple of shouldery stretches. I'm gonna come to the wall. If you don't have a wall handy, then you can grab like a little hoop, or you can grab anything that you can raise your hands up on is absolutely fine. I'm gonna show you both versions. So there's going to be two different ones. The first one is just targeting the shoulders, and the second one is shoulders and thoracic. So hands to the wall. You're going to really, really lock off your core for the first one. Walk your hands away, and it's just shoulders here. Okay, really think about pushing your armpits to the ground, but keeping the tummy button up, like that three-way shoulder stretch we did at the start. Then for the next one, you can take your feet to Trott. I don't mind if you bend your knees this one. It's not supposed to be a hamstring stretch. But we're here going to, again, keep the tummy muscles, so don't let it become lumbering. We're just going to drop the chest down to the floor. Okay? If you do want a bonus hamstring stretch, you can keep your legs straight. If you don't have a wall handy, you can grab a thing, a foam roller if you like, or a little block to put your hands on. We can do exactly the same thing here. Okay? About 30 to 40 seconds in each one. That's it, push those armpits down to the floor, Lou. Looking good. Good, keep your head nice and straight. Good stuff. When you've done that one for about 30, 40 seconds, then switch to the other one, targeting your thoracic. So again, don't let it drop into the lumbar, but you can think about pulling your chest into the wall more. And whenever you're ready, start to relax out of that. Give your shoulders and thoracic a bit of a roll out, round through your back. Lovely. Can I just have a quick wave of people who have a foam roller? Cool. Actually, I should say more. Who doesn't have a foam roller? Okay, cool. I'm just going to show this this one as a little bonus, and it's good to watch anyway, because if you have a foam roller or if you think there's something around that you could substitute, then it's a good one to do. So essentially, you just want to make a support to raise you off the ground. So that could be like some blocks or some really big books or something like that, but maybe not for now, but for the future. I'm actually going to put mine into a long roller for this one, but you can do it on the short one, it's also just fine. So you're going to place yourself on the roller. So your tailbone and neck are ideally supported, but if you've got a short one, that's fine. Just make sure it's in the center of your back. And then from here, we're going to come to this shape. So we're going to open up through our shoulders and relax here. So this is quite a nice, good, just a little sort of cool down relax. But we can also make this an exercise by lifting the hands and just floating them like a tiny centimetre off the ground, and then lifting them up here. Okay, and just drawing them up and down. Okay, so this is like the passive version of the one that we did lying face down. So that was an active stretch, where we're using the muscles to do the exercise. And this one, we're just letting it be really, really relaxed. Okay. I don't know if you're already doing that, but you can totally do that right now if you have. That's it. Yeah, so drawing from the cactus all the way to the extended position and back down. Lovely. If you don't have your foam roller, if you're not doing this exercise, that's absolutely fine. We're going to move on to a cool down stretch in a couple of moments. Lovely. So just 2 more of those each. For now, you can do some more after class if you want some bonus ones. We'll have a little cool down. All right, so come to a seated position. Just give your shoulders an extra bonus roll. Really, really big shoulders. Really, really big shoulders, really big circles, I should say. And the other way. Around. And we're going to round your back now, so we're going to get into that sort of rotated off thoracic area. Then trap the hand behind your leg. Really, really round your back and try and extend through all those bits that we'll be getting into today. Yeah, really suck back core up to the ceiling. And switch sides whenever you're ready. Lovely, and then sitting on the ground. And just rolling back, taking your feet over your head into a plow stretch. And feel free here to keep the legs straight, or you can just relax your knees onto your head or towards your head, depending on where you're at. Give your hips a rock from side to side, if it feels good. Lovely, then walk your feet over to one side, bend through your knees, give a nice twist. And the same the other side. Lovely. And sitting up. All done. Lovely. Grab a drink of water because we've been releasing and stretching. Hydration is important. Flushing all those toxins out. Nice work today, guys. So I'm pretty sure the next week is bridges for real. Pretty sure. I was like, no, when I was designing the 4 weeks, I was like, it totally makes sense to do shoulders and thoracic first. And then next week when we go to bridges, we can utilize some of those, move through them quickly and do some more hip flexoring and back stuff. Anyway, it made sense. We did it right in the end. So next week, bridges for real.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you. If you have any questions about today or any questions, feel free to chuck on your mics and ask them.